정권
들어갑니다. 공동입니다. 공동입니다. 역전을 만듭니다. 2점의 갈비를.
Winners of the AFC Champions League 2020, Ulsan Hyundai.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
안녕하세요, 어서오세요, and welcome to another edition of The Weekend, your mini hors d'oeuvre slice of the K-League United podcast, this time with me, Peter Hampshire, standing in for Paul Neat. Coming up in this episode, Ryan Walters takes us through the upcoming games in K-League 2 this weekend, and Matthew Binns looks at the matches, team and players to watch in K-League 1. First, the headlines this week. A host of midweek games in K-League 1 see Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors and Ulsan Hyundai pull away at the top as they beat Pohang Steelers and FC Seoul respectively. Asnawi Mangkualam of the Ansan Greeners becomes the first Indonesian to play in K-League. Further updates on former Korean national team and Songnam boss Shin Tae-young as he continues his recovery. South Korea women's national team take on China in a crucial playoff for the Tokyo Olympics. And renewed government COVID-19 restrictions across the country has implications for K-League fans and their attendance of games. Our top story this week focuses on K-League's Round 8 fixtures as Jeonbuk continued their unbeaten start to the season with a 3-1 victory at the Steelyard. Former Pohang striker Stanislav Ilichenko, who scored 19 goals last season for the Steelers, got a brace as the champions opened up an 8-point gap on third place FC Seoul. Ilichenko then he opted for muted celebrations for his 6th and 7th goals in 5 games, something that was appreciated by the Pohang fans who returned the favour with a hearty round of applause. Pohang meanwhile have failed to win since round 2 of K-League, however manager Kim Gi-dong remains upbeat, stating that he is not worried about Pohang's form with Song Min-kyu set to return from suspension this weekend. However, manager Kim did acknowledge there's plenty of work to be done at the back. Elsewhere, Ulsan remain on Jeonbuk's coattails, coming out eventual 3-2 winners in a 5-goal thriller at the Minsu against FC Seoul. Asnawi Mangkualam finally made his long-awaited K-League debut at the Gudok Stadium as Ansan Greeners earned a 1-1 draw against Busan I-Park. Deployed further forward than he's perhaps used to in a right wing role, Asnawi caught the eye with some neat footwork and runs into the box. His second consecutive appearance for Kim Gil-shik's side, having featured in Ansan's 1-0 FA Cup triumph over Yangpyeong, the Indonesian international left the field on 61 minutes with his side still in the lead. His current international Indonesian boss Shin Tae-young is set to attend Ansan's fixture with Jeonnam on Sunday, and in media duty on Wednesday, while stressing that Ansan's victory was his priority, Asnawi expressed the desire in him to impress Shin with all his might. Meanwhile, Ansan boss Kim dubbed him the Son Heung-min of Indonesia in relation to the circus of media surrounding the 21-year-old. And sticking with Indonesia, as reported previously in the weekend, former South Korea boss Shin Tae-young returned to Korea by air ambulance to focus on his recovery after health complications. Shin is said to have recovered well and will end his isolation period on Saturday to attend the Ansan game on Sunday. Speaking to KBS, Shin said that he had received 3 days of intensive treatment at a hospital in Seoul and declared that he no longer feels the need to worry about his health. Someone else who I assume may be in attendance at that Ansan game is Ryan Walters, and here is Ryan taking us through what to look at in all those games in K-League 2 this weekend.
There are plenty of tasty fixtures this weekend in the Hana 1Q K-League 2. Leaders Seoul Elan kick off the action at home to Park Dong-hyuk's Cheongnam Asan before Gimcheon Sangmu face Bucheon 1995 on Saturday. Sunday sees a triple header with the pick of the action, Daejeon Hana Citizen hosting Gyeongnam FC. The match of the round is Seoul Elan versus Cheongnam Asan. Chung Jung-young's side sit top of the pile in K-League 2 thanks to an unbeaten start to the season, winning 3 of the opening 5 games and conceding just 1 goal in the process. Looking to achieve their first ever promotion, Elan also traveled to city neighbors FC Seoul in the FA Cup midweek. Without dominating possession in games, the Leopards have looked threatening on all fronts this term. The signing of Kim Jung-hwan from Gwangju may have slipped under the radar, but the 24-year-old winger sits at the top of the K-League 2 goal-scoring charts, while Brazilian talisman Leandro Ribeiro leads the way in terms of combined goals and assists. Cheongnam Asan may be wary of a Seoul side that have netted 9 times in their last 2 home games in all competitions without reply. However, the Owls are in great form themselves, having followed up their FA Cup triumph with a 2-1 win over Gyeongnam FC last time out. Chae Kyu-baek bagged the winner, a player looking to make a home in Chungcheong province, having been at 6 clubs in as many years. Asan have the lowest average possession in K2 as of yet and will likely play on the counter at Jamsil, but will take plenty of heart from the promising start to the season that sees them sit in 4th place. They also possess quality out wide as the division's most accurate crossers. The team of the round is Gyeongnam FC, who travel north on Sunday to Daejeon in what many would have expected to be a top-of-the-table clash. With the fledgling season still young, Seol Ki-hyun's side are by no means out of contention, and a win at second-place Daejeon could turn the tide. There have been promising performances of late, with the Reds claiming a point at home to inform Eland and beating Ansan Greeners on the road. Preceding 3 consecutive home games in all competitions, a repeat of Gyeongnam's 3-2 win on their last visit to Daejeon would be much welcomed. The Changwon-based side boasts the oldest squad in K-League 2 and will need experienced players such as Ko Kyung-min, Jang Hyuk-jin, and Bae Sung-jin to come to the fore. Chae Kwang-hoon has been a bright spark, ranked 2nd for success in defensive duels and 5th for expected assists, while defender Kim Young-chan, 7th best in K2, has enjoyed success in his aerial duels this season. The player of the round is FC Anyang's Meng Sung-eun. The Violets will have been pleased with their business in keeping hold of the 23-year-old Meng Sung-eun in the transfer window, with the youngster making 50 appearances over the previous 2 seasons at the heart of their midfield. Scoring his first K-League goal for the club on the opening day win at Gyeongnam, Meng has continued to play every minute of the season alongside international duo Nilsson Jr. and Ryusuke Tamura. Meng ranks 1st in K2 in terms of interceptions this season at 48 in 5 games, which is 9 more than any other player. Anyang hosts Busan I Park this Sunday, looking to leapfrog the Royals in the table. Back to you, Peter.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeagueUnited with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
Thank you very much for that, Ryan. Last week saw cities such as Busan and Jeonju increase their COVID restriction levels from 1.5 to 2.0 on a 5-point scale. That meant more stringent attendance caps at the Gudok, and this weekend Jeonbuk hosts Incheon United in K-League 1 on Sunday. Unfortunately, the Korean government announced a 3-week extension to COVID-19 restrictions on Friday. Fans are still able to attend games, but with a 10% capacity limit in Seoul, Gyeonggi, Incheon, Busan, Jeonju and Daejeon. This comes after daily COVID-19 cases reached 700 in Korea on Thursday, a 3-month high for the country. There are still plenty of enticing games to get your teeth into, however, with all those games available free to view on K-League TV for those outside of Korea. Matthew Binns takes a look at what match, team and player to look out for, in particular in K-League 1.
K-League 1 enters round 9 of fixtures this upcoming weekend, with a number of games to keep an eye on. FC Seoul and Pohang Steelers look to bounce back from midweek defeats as they square off in Sangam, while Songnam and Gwangju meet later in the evening for a mid-table clash. Sunday sees the title chasers take the spotlight, with Ulsan Hyundai heading north to face Suwon FC, while league leaders Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors will hope to maintain their unbeaten start when they are visited by Incheon United. Here are the match, team and player of the round to keep an eye out for this weekend. The match to watch is FC Seoul vs Pohang Steelers. Having both suffered defeats midweek, both FC Seoul and Pohang Steelers will be hoping to return to winning ways when the pair meet at Seoul World Cup Stadium this Saturday afternoon. The capital side come into the match having surrendered a lead against Ulsan Hyundai on Wednesday and now find themselves trailing 5 points off second. Pohang Steelers, on the other hand, will be hoping to bounce back from a 3-1 defeat to Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors after their former striker Stanislav Ilyachenko came back to haunt them. The Steelers will be wary of the same fate happening to them again this weekend as they come up against their ex-attacking midfielder Alexander Pilosevic for the first time since his winter switch. To make matters more concerning, Pilosevic is gradually becoming more accustomed to his new surroundings and finally opened his account for his new club midweek, scoring quite the consolation goal against Ulsan deep into injury time. Fortunately for Pohang, they can welcome back Song Min-kyu to the fold after the influential youngster sat out midweek through suspension. The 21-year-old winger has bagged 3 goals in 6 appearances so far this season and remains the only Pohang player to have scored more than one goal this campaign. The Steelers faithful will be hoping the reigning Young Player of the Year's return can reinvigorate the side once more at the weekend. This weekend's team to watch is Ulsan Hyundai. Ulsan Hyundai turned around a goal deficit midweek against FC Seoul, replying with 3 of their own to help them pull 5 points clear in second and maintain a 3-point gap from leaders Jeonbuk. It seems that the Harangi may well be the biggest threats to the Green Warriors' crown in 2021 once more, with their midweek performance earning them the K-League's Team of the Round accolade. Despite concerns of a managerial switch interrupting their rhythm, Ulsan have looked impressive at times under the newly appointed Hong Myung-bo as they begin to adapt to his methods. On Wednesday, Ulsan looked threatening for most of the match, racking up an impressive 27 shots against FC Seoul, with 9 finding the target. Not only that, but the Harangi dominated possession in the match, recording 64.75% possession as they fought back to earn the 3 points. One Ulsan player their opponent Suwon FC will certainly be keeping an eye on is Valery Kasejvili, or Vako as he prefers. The former San Jose Earthquakes attacker finally opened his Ulsan account on Wednesday, scoring once, assisting once, and being involved in the build-up for the other. The player to watch this weekend, though, is once again Stanislav Ilyachenko of Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Eyes remain fixated on former Pohang striker Stanislav Ilyachenko as he continued his rich vein of form beyond the international break and into the last 2 rounds. More worryingly for his opponents, the forward seems only to be improving. Ilyachenko has now scored an impressive 7 goals in his last 5 outings, even picking up an assist in the process. This flurry of goals has naturally propelled him to the top of the Golden Boot race, with his nearest competitor being Ulsan Hyundai's Lee Dong-jun, sat 3 goals behind him. To worsen matters for the visitors, history is not on their side. Ilyachenko held a good record against Incheon United during his time at Pohang, scoring in each of his 3 meetings with them, and will be hoping to maintain this run on Sunday evening. Here is a rundown of the Round 9 fixtures. On Saturday the 10th of April, Gangwon FC get things kicked off as they host Daegu FC at 2 p.m. This is followed by FC Seoul vs Pohang Steelers at 4:30, with Songnam FC vs Gwangju FC capping it all off at 7 p.m. Then on Sunday, Jeju United start things with Suwon Samsung Blue Wings visiting the island at 4 p.m, while Suwon FC host Ulsan Hyundai at 4:30. Then Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors vs Incheon United at 7:30 p.m. to round the weekend off. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you for that, Matthew. And from one Leicestershire hero to another, Colin Bell takes his South Korean women's side into a crunch playoff second leg with China on Tuesday. The first leg didn't go their way on Thursday night with a 2-1 defeat in Goyang. The return fixture takes place in Suzhou on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Korean time, and South Korea have never qualified for the women's football at the Olympics and could make history in Tokyo. In his pre-match press conference, Bell stressed the need to enjoy these matches despite there being a lot at stake, and while the squad is primarily formed with domestically based talents, English WSL stars Ji So-yoon, Cho So-hyun and Lee Gun-min are set to feature as well. Finally, it's a happy 6th birthday to K-League United. A huge thank you to all of our readers and contributors since we were formed in 2015. And don't forget, over on all our social media channels, there are currently some tasty kit giveaways for you to get involved with. That's all from me, Peter Hampshire. Don't worry, Paul Nee will be returning very shortly. Thank you for listening.
스코어 2대0 김남춘의 추락골. 지금 이진영 선수가 김남춘